You cannot compete with your old self. I'm not going to say I'm Zazel O'Garra, any longer wearing the, stiletto heels and,
Mhm.
all the men are stopping me and whatever. That's not
Right.
who I am anymore. I have accepted the fact that I am a brain tumor survivor, and this is who I am. This is
Mhm.
who I am. I mean, I've accepted it,
And
and
again, that's beautiful.
mhm,
Because that your life changes as you spend more time on the planet.
right.
Like I noticed one day, I said, "Oh wow, I don't turn heads anymore on the street." You know,
Yeah.
and that was okay, because as a matter of fact, it was a godsend, because it was a pain in the ass every 5 minutes. Some idiot, dressing me up and down, undressing me up and down, not having to have that energy thrown in my direction all the time was a relief. But I could have looked at it the other way as, oh,
Right.
I'm getting old and I'm not,
Yeah, and so
so
many
your
people.
mindset is
I mean, I'm
everything.
proud of my age. Um, I'm proud of who I am, and I've made myself into a different person, and I'm happy with
Oh my gosh. The,
it.
if we the one of the missions of my podcast is to help people be happier, find that happy place within
Yeah,
you, and it has
and
to do with
it's
here.
difficult. I mean, one of the things I did also was while I was at Rusk, after I left Kessler, I went to Rusk Rehab, NYU
Mm,
Rusk Rehab, which was another phenomenal place. And they introduced me to a therapist there who
mm.
also had a brain tumor. So I went
Oh
to her
wow.
office, and I told her my story. I said, I'm in the arts and I had this brain tumor, and, I'm in there with a cane and my brace, and I just spoke so openly and, with passion and, just the love of the arts or whatever. And she said, Giselle, you are amazing, and I want you to join the Brain Tumor Foundation. So I did join the Brain Tumor Foundation, and I went to the support groups. And in the support groups with other persons with brain tumors, um, everyone was in a sad mood. They were, depressed, because having a brain tumor is like, it's a horrible, it's a experience that no one wants to go through. And so she recognized that I kind of took over the support groups, with my personality and my laugh and the smile and whatever. And she recommended that I go to grad school and for social work. And I said, "What? Are you joking? I can't even read and write." But I did. I took her advice, and I started to apply to grad schools. And the first grad school I applied to was Fordham University, and I did it as a non-matric student because I wanted to see if I could do it.
Mhm.
And there I was in the classroom with all these people, and I think I had human behavior. That was a class, and the professor was extremely difficult. But I tell this story because I always tell persons with disabilities, if you want to go back to school, go to the Office of Disability Services within your university, and they will help you. They will
Mhm.
definitely help you. I mean, they gave me a lot of services. Like, if I had to take notes, another student could take the notes. If I wanted to
Oh.
take a test, I could use it. I could take a test in another classroom. Different things. If you needed Xeroxes, Xerox copies of papers or whatever, they would have another student do it and pay that student to
Mm.
help you. So, with that in mind, I did very well for that first semester, and then I applied to the school and I got accepted.
You know, what I'm also hearing here is, if you ask for help and you're open for help, you will get it.
You will get it. You will absolutely get it. And one of the best things, I'm going to tell you two short stories. One of the best things was, because I had a disability, I received many scholarships. People don't know how to look for scholarships. I look for scholarships for people with chronic illnesses, people with brain tumors, people with Black women with, illnesses. I looked up everything, and I got a lot of money. And then also the Screen Actors Guild gave me some cash.
Shouting y'all out, shout y'all out.
Shout out. Yes, I mean, they'll help you go back to school.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was amazing. But the other part of the story was one day I received a phone call from Barry Martin. Do you remember Barry?
Mm-mm.
Barry, he used to go to Alvin Ailey with me. He was this amazing dancer and Black guy and just hysterical, just a wonderful spirit. And he was on scholarship there with me at Ailey. And then after Ailey, I think he went to Purchase and got his degree in dance. And right after he finished Purchase, he went to England and got into a dance company. So while he was in a dance company, they were doing a tour in South Africa, and he got into a massive car accident. And because it was South Africa, they did not allow him to go into the regular hospital, the hospital with the Caucasians, white people. And they let him stay there and suffer. And then fortunately, they found out that he was American, whatever, and they allowed him to go into that hospital. But by that time, he became a quadriplegic. And then I think his family came and they flew him back to England, and that's where he did his rehab. And then he came back to New York. However,
not to cut you off, because I want you to continue. What year was this? Was this after apartheid?
Yeah, I think. I don't remember. I think it was before apartheid.
Okay, so apartheid was still happening when he. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, yeah. So he came back here, and Alvin Ailey actually hired him to choreograph for the company. He started his own dance company. He was absolutely amazing. But he found out that I had a brain tumor, and he called me up and he told me, Zazel, do you realize that there's more minorities who are disabled? And he said, you have to make yourself known. You have to join the Performers with Disabilities Union with the Screen Actors Guild, because he was in it. And he says, I want you to join every single disability organization, or try to, in this country. And then also go back to school, because he did in NYU and finished his master's degree. And I took his advice and did everything. And when I went to that Performers with Disabilities Union within the Screen Actors Guild, there were not a lot of minorities. I think he was the only one.
Oh, wow. Wow. But again, information just dropping into your lap, setting up signposts, go this way, go this way, go this way.
Right.
But again, I think because of your energy, because what's so beautiful about this, even though you and I haven't talked in decades, you are still that magnificent light that I always knew. You know, I knew Zazel from, was it JoJo's Dance Factory?
Broadway Dance Center.
It was Broadway Dance Center when you started coming around? Yeah. Okay, well, so it had to be the beginnings of Broadway Dance Center, though, coming out of JoJo's Dance Factory, Heinz Hatchet.
Yeah.
And then it became Broadway Dance Center.
I used to watch you, and you used to be too fierce. I mean, you were fierce. You were giving those classes and kicking butt.
Thank you. But that's where I know Zazel.
You always had a serious look on your face, like, I'm doing this. You know.
Yeah, it's funny, when we talk about like the self that you were as you're developing into, I think, being more of who you're meant to be in a way. And I remember me at that time, I was so serious about everything.
Yeah, you were serious.
Yeah, I didn't play.
You didn't play. You did not play. Did you used to teach step?
I did some teaching over at Steps. They weren't my classes. I would sub over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything was very serious to me.
You were serious. I'm like, oh my God, you used to scare me. I'm like, this girl is serious.
I felt that if you're going to do something, you got to do it well. And you got to set your mind to it. But as I look back on that girl, and she was fun loving, but some people didn't know that, because I would present this very serious side. But I was a kook. I mean, I was like loony, like silly and all of that. But I think that girl didn't realize that she needed to relax and not take things quite so seriously. That
yeah, but I mean, okay. I admired it. I admired it because you had a lot of focus and you had a lot of passion, and you were amazingly talented.
Thank you.
Yeah, I used to talk to Cheryl Burr about you all the time. I still do.
Oh, Burr. Well, actually, I'm going to let her know that she's, that our girl is being talked to, when I post this. But I think, like I said, I remember you just always smiling and having this great energy and things cooking. Like, it always seemed like you had a bunch of things in the fire, this project, that project. You just did finish modeling, on this project. And then there was, stuff you were dancing on. And, I just remember those vibrance about
looking back, it is always a frenetic energy I had. I mean, I was always had a creative spirit and frenetic energy, but I knew right before I got sick that I was going to have to change soon because things were changing as I was getting older. Like, yes, because when you start getting older, the phone is not ringing as much.
Right.
And I knew I wasn't stupid. I knew that I had to make a change. Like, okay, Zazel, we got to start thinking of your elder years.
Yeah, because when you're in that business, you're on go. You're on go. And I mean, I had a transition. At this point, it's 21 years now since I've been in the industry, and I had a major identity crisis because we identify ourselves through what it is that we do, and not so much out of the listening space of who you are, which is a bigger, an even bigger source of who you are is the big source. We think in little terms.
And I'm so glad that you said that because, I had 2 interviews and I was talking about being a dancer and being an artist. And I said, the one thing they don't tell you, I mean, I majored in dance in college. The one thing they don't tell you about is survival.
Yes.
You have to pay $950. I just looked at it the other day for headshots.
What?
Yes, I saw Amanda.
$950 for headshots now?
I saw someone advertising for $950 for headshots. The dance classes now are $25.
Right.
You have to know how to maintain yourself and know how to really survive in this, unless you come from a rich family who can support you. You have to know how to survive. They don't tell you that when you're majoring in dance or acting.
Right.
You have to,
they don't.
Do the arts and business.
Yes. Right, because it's we call it show business, but it's really the business of show. It's really the business aspect. And you're right. But what I also know that we're not taught is how to thrive, because it's like, I hear what you're saying about survival because, how do you pay your rent? How you pay your bills, all of that in the industry. But to me, survival is here. Thriving is here. Often, yeah. And we're not taught as humans in this society how to thrive, to have thrival mode mentality, as opposed to just getting by, just being able to pay your bills. Because that's not living.
That's not living. That is not living. I understand the passion. I totally understand the passion because I was there. I mean, I had the passion, and I always say this, look, my sister, I only have one sister. She was the complete opposite of me. She was business. And here I was buying my pumps and my red lipstick. And she purchased her first house at 27.
Okay.
And because she's like, I never want to rent.
Yeah.
And so she always.
Don't blame her.
Yeah, I was like, okay, let me go out, to Europe and come back and be poor.
But you were doing your thing, you know what I mean?
It's my thing. I mean, I did very well in Europe, but I never, I was never very conscious of investing and, all that kind of stuff. I never thought about that. Not until after the tumor did I think about that. You know what I mean? But my sister was always a go-getter, marketing genius. I mean, and she's a Supreme Court judge.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's like the complete opposite of me. Yeah.
But that's all good. You know what I mean?
It's like, it is all
yeah,
good.
because I think that if you led any other kind of life, you wouldn't be where you are right now in terms of what you've learned.
My sister, she gave me a Christmas card this year, and she said, I could never do what you do. I could never.
There you go.
The person that you are.
There you go. So that brings us to, because you have a Montserrat story, but that brings us to maybe that story, but what you are currently doing now with your company, the name of your company. I will say before you even get to that, the presentation, your virtual presentation called New Beginnings, that blew my mind, because it makes you think about how you view disability.
Yeah.
You know, how do you as a able-bodied person really view disability? What are the things, the myths that you have, particularly if there's nobody in your life that's going through that? What do you really think? And it brought all of that up. And I think that it brought a level of awareness in terms of education.
Yeah.
Which is so needed. People need to understand, and they need to see, and they need to hear. So kudos to you for that project, New Beginnings.
Yeah.
So, and folks, I at the end of the, in the show notes, as I always do, I have the information of my guests. I urge you to go to Zazel's site and to look at her company and look at the offerings on YouTube and to donate.
And donate. Oh, absolutely.
And to donate.
Yes.
Donate to her company and go to Montserrat and support the people in that island.
Yeah,
but please, what is your company? What is your mission statement? All of that stuff.
My company is ZCO Dance Project, and I'm very proud of it. It's been a hustle. It's definitely been a hustle. A lot of hard work. I run the company basically by myself. I have assistants on occasion, but I basically do everything by myself. I mean, I have two fundraising, administration, dealing with the dancers, hiring choreographers. It's a lot of work. And, to maintain it is even more difficult because you do need the funding. We have been able to do performances in New York City at Dixon Place and at Symphony Space and Mark Morris, which was absolutely wonderful. We've raised money, but now I am in the process of applying for more grants. And then I do things on the side. I mean, I also teach individuals who are disabled. I've taught at Mount Sinai Hospital. I've taught at just a gazillion hospitals and social service facilities, dance to persons who are mentally and intellectually disabled, which has been wonderful. So I just try to keep it going. And it's difficult because I got to hustle my butt off.
Are you literally writing your own grants?
I just hired someone else to write the grants.
Because that in and of itself
That's very difficult, yeah.
Wow.
I just found someone to do that for me.
That's good.
Like this week. So,
wow. That's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's difficult, but I keep going. And I think the performance that we did last week, New Beginnings, is a new beginning because everything is virtual. Everything is virtual.
Right.
So someone clued me in. The woman that was the MC, Galil, was the one that, she's an Adelco Award winner. She's a seasoned actress and she knows everyone in the city. So she was the one that hooked me up with this incredible production manager who did all of the taping and editing and whatever. And it was just amazing.
Wow. She was fabulous. I loved her.
Oh, Galil she's excellent. Yeah, she's excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, she was fabulous.
we try to do other things, try to bring in different choreographers, and I try to expose the dancers to different genres, to jazz, modern, ballet, African dance. And, I want to be a soulful company, because that's my background. I love to dance with soul. And
Yes.
so that's why we're doing, I'm going to announce it right now, we're doing a Black History Month, a short Black History Month showcase at the end of February that is a tribute to Ntozake Shange. And we're going to be doing just like a little short presentation, but just to, just to keep us out there, just to have people know that we still are existing in this climate, in this pandemic climate, where a lot of artists are suffering.
Yeah, a lot of artists are struggling and suffering. A lot of humans are struggling, suffering. The one thing that I feel this time can teach us is the art of collaboration and the art of cooperation, and not being isolated. If you feel isolated, there are groups that you can reach out to. Even though you're in your own home, don't give up. Keep the faith. We are being taught something here, something very valuable for humankind, something to raise the elevation of humankind, something to draw us together to support the earth. This is an important time. It is not just a time of suffering. If you can shift your focus to...
You have to shift your focus.
Yeah.
And, one of the beautiful things, it's going to be almost a year that we've been going through this pandemic.
That's right.
And one of the
almost a year.
I have no problems being at home by myself. I have no problems, because I listen to myself. I'm working on the dance company. I'm working on myself. I have a journal that I write in. And even though my handwriting is slow with my right hand, because it's still, it can move, but it's slow. Mm-hmm. I write with my left hand. I'm like, okay, so right hand is a little slow. Let me write with my left hand. So I'm ambidextrous.
Okay.
And I do my thing. I write in my journal. I write my thoughts down. Okay, this is what I'm feeling today. And, that helps.
Yeah. Like I said, this is an important tool. Like if the thought didn't occur, we wouldn't have an airplane. Somebody had to think of an airplane. Right. That's how powerful thoughts are. Thoughts are everything. Thoughts, created the man-made civilization. So you see the power in thought, and you can either take the thought and use it to work for you, or you can turn it against you. And that means you're going to be depressed. You're going to be anxious. You're going to be stressed out.
Look, I'm normal. It is, I still go through health challenges because you have a brain tumor. The brain affects your entire body.
Yes.
So I still have to go to see my neurologist and take a lot of tests and have my MRIs every year. And dealing with the paralysis. My leg, my foot is still partially paralyzed. So I had to get a new brace. I had to see a physiatrist. Deal with. I just got Botox shots in my arm and my leg to deal with the spasticity, because my arm doesn't move. It doesn't move. I can move it like this, but it doesn't swing like my left arm. Yeah. So they gave me the Botox shots, and they gave me the Botox shots in my right leg. But I keep going, what the hell?
Right. Yeah, and that's it. You keep going. Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah. And, the dancing keeps me alive. Does.
Which so I still want to hear the Montserrat story, but I want you to talk about that piece that was in that concert I saw that was so powerful, where you were talking about how men see disability.
Okay, so that's interesting.
Girl, that piece made me just have to go, damn. That piece made me go, wow.
Yeah, well, that's been an interesting experience for me. Men, because I have this disability, I walk with a limp. And I wear my long dresses or bell bottoms or whatever, or I wear my stretch pants. My brace is seen, so I'm still very attractive. And men look at me and they're wondering, like, what the hell is wrong with her? Why does she walk like that? So I'll tell you a story, and I hope he's listening to this. So my friend Galil had tickets last year to Lincoln Center. She invited us to the New York Philharmonic. And to make a long story short, there was like 8 of us. She got free tickets. And after the show, we all went out to dinner. And maybe there was 6 of us left at that time. And there was a nice gentleman there. And, he's looking at me, I'm looking at him, whatever, and, checking me out, whatever. And, we're all talking. So he said at the end of the dinner, this whole dinner is on me. And I'm like, what? That's nice. I said, sweetie, I'm going to give you my phone number. Because I'm like, a free dinner? I said, I'm giving you my phone number, honey. And everyone starts laughing, right? And so he hands me his phone. And I put in my phone number. And immediately after we left, he texts me like a picture of him. So I'm walking, we leave the restaurant, I'm walking down the street and I'm holding on to Galil, and he sees me limping. I'm holding on to her for support. I don't have my cane. So he sees me limping and I get into a taxi and go. And he asks Galil, why does she walk like that? And Galil's like, that's on you. You have to ask her. She's a beautiful woman. That's all she said.
Okay.
So to make a long story short, he called me up and we met again and we had dinner. And it's very strange that when I'm nervous, I'm thinking about men, when I'm nervous, it goes right through my leg. Like the nerves go through my leg and I can't lift my leg up. And I mean, it's difficult to lift my leg because I'm thinking about it so much that all of the nerves just like say, forget it, you're not gonna walk. So he sees the way I walk and we had a dinner and whatever. And I'm trying to move the friggin' leg after we leave the restaurant, but I'm still limping. In any event, he invites me to the Black Nutcracker, which is nice. I'm like, oh, okay, this brother's, interested. So I arrive to the Black Nutcracker at the Paris Theater. No, it's not Paris. It's the Paradise Theater in Brooklyn. And I arrived there early and there's like a huge line. So he comes late and I'm on the line and he says, the first thing he says to me, he said, I'm gonna ask you a question. Why do you walk like that?
Wow.
And I said, that's a long story. I'll tell you later. So we get into the theater, and usually when I go to theaters or any place else, I go to the bathroom for persons with disabilities on the first floor when I don't have to go down the steps.
Right.
Right? But I was so nervous to use that disabled bathroom with him. I didn't go. So I just held it there. I just sat in the theater and didn't go to the bathroom. Yeah, because I'm thinking, like, what is he thinking? So in any event, after the show, we leave and he's like, okay, let's go out to dinner. And we walk outside and I couldn't walk. And he sees him stumbling, I'm limping. He's like, okay, let's catch an Uber and go downtown Brooklyn. So we go downtown Brooklyn, we go into the restaurant and he's like, are you gonna tell me why you walk like that? And I said, okay, yes, sure. I said, I am a brain tumor survivor. His whole energy changed. Entire energy changed. And I told him I have a dance company, I've done this, whatever. Totally changed. Wow. Totally changed. So men can deal with it if you say you have like a car accident. If you are in a car accident, that's more acceptable. But if you say that you have a chronic illness or any kind of illness, they don't want to be a caretaker. Mm-hmm. It's a fear. It's a fear. So I'm a part of an organization called Divas with Disabilities. And
I'm sorry, what's it called?
Divas with Disabilities.
Divas with Disabilities. Okay.
Yes. And my friend started it, and she is an amputee, right? And she lost her leg through bone cancer years ago when she was 18 years old. And we talk about, you know, how we deal with men and, you know, men, and she's incredibly professional. She used to work for the Pentagon.
Oh.
And she wants to be an actress. She has a wonderful personality. So she, you know, she's very powerful. But men, they don't know how to deal with her either because she has a prosthetic.
So did this brother just drop out of the scene?
Totally dropped out. Never called me again. Never.
Wow. So basically they assume they will have to be a caregiver without asking or getting to know you or getting to know you know, your lifestyle and all of that.
They don't want to deal with it. No. They don't.
Wow. So is this the piece, did the piece come out of that experience? You know, in terms of you just deciding, I'm going to do this?
It impacts me in the sense that I know what others have dealt with, you know, as women with disabilities. I don't have a fear. I mean, I know who I am. I'm comfortable with who I am. You have to be comfortable with who you are.
Hello. You have to do the work. You know, each of us.
Yeah. I'm going to say this also. I mean, I know of a guy who was attracted to me, and he could not deal with me because I have this disability and I had a brain tumor. And we are very good friends. However, he did not want to be emotional or whatever because I had a disability.
Wow. So, so this piece, because I had asked you to read some of the poem.
Yeah, I didn't. I have another poem that I wrote that I wanted to read.
Okay, so please read that. But before that happens, I just want to do a little business because I want to close with that poem that you've written. Because girl, it'll be 5:00 and we'll still be on here talking. I'll probably have to do this again with you because it's just a wealth of information and knowledge and wisdom that you've dropped on us. And I'm like so appreciative of your time and your sharing. Do a little business. Tell people where they can find you. As I said, I'll have it in the show notes. Go.
Okay, you can find me on ZCODanceProject.com.
Bam.
Bam.
Everything's there.
Everything's there. On
her website. Like I said, please go check it out. Donate. Look at the videos. See how you can support. Because it's like I said, it just blew me away in that sense. The other thing I want to ask you before we close and you read this poem is, what do you see? What are you creating for yourself in the future? In the future, I mean, could be tomorrow, next week, next year, whatever. But what do you see for yourself in your company?
Okay, well, I think one of the best things that happened last year was that we were invited to the International Dance Festival of Disability in Greece. And we were going there in May. And they were sponsoring us.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like 4 dancers that I could bring 4 to 5 dancers, and they were sponsoring us. And it's in a Karditsa, Greece. So we would have to take the plane to Athens, and then I think it's a 3-hour drive to Karditsa. If we do that, that would be excellent. If it could happen next year, if it, you know, everything opens up and the restrictions are gone, that would be absolutely.
So this is May of 2022.
21 or 22. I don't know if they're going to do it in 21. What happened when they canceled it was that we did a Zoom meeting, and I had to wake up at 3 a.m. so I could be on their time. And there were several artists from Portugal, from Greece, from France, who had companies with disabilities, from the UK. And I just felt just wonderful. And she was like, you have this amazing smile.
Yes.
You know, I was just smiling because I was just overwhelmed by meeting all these people who were going to take part in this festival. So if we can do that, bring it to Europe, that would be amazing. I want to do that, particularly being a Black woman. You know, they have not seen a Black woman. That they have not seen. And going over there and doing some soulful dance and, you know.
Oh my goodness, that sounds so exciting. That sounds so exciting.
And then, you know, my friend and I, who is who started Divas with Disabilities, we want to be recognized on film, on television, as women with disabilities or persons with disabilities. You know, we don't want an able-bodied actor being put in a wheelchair to portray a person with a disability. We want to be who we are.
Right.
You know, put us in front of the camera.
Right.
Send me out on commercials. I mean, they are doing commercials. Send me out on commercials. Yeah, I walk with a limp, but this is who I am.
Yes. Yes. And that's so important because, again, it's educational. It's letting people know that, yes, we share the planet with all kinds of people with all types of experiences. Right. And so that these things are not foreign to people, you know. My goodness, I wish you all the amazing best as you move forward in creating. And
God be to glory. I'm leaving, as my father would say. He always used to tell me to say, my heavenly Father owns the universe and my every need shall be supplied. And I always say that. Yeah.
And again, that's how the things just flow to you. Please share this poem with us.
Okay.
And I thank you, girl.
Okay. So let me put on my glasses. Okay.
All right.
Woo. I am a dancer. It gave God and my parents great pleasure to create me. In their eyes, I am a Black beauty. My parents molded me to perfection, instilling in me great values not to fear rejection. Tuned into divine master plan, my heavenly Father gave me life. I grew to be a woman. Every curve was fine, bold, bountiful, sexual, funny, intelligent, and strong. I am a disabled woman, African, Caribbean, and proud. People see me and sometimes turn away. I do not feel ashamed. I know I am blessed. Average humans don't understand. They let their ignorance get the upper hand. They don't know how fundamental respect. They choose to mock differences they don't accept. I dance to rejuvenate my soul. I have the tools I need to be the best. Black woman, vibrant woman, disabled woman. God's creation, that is me.
Oh, girl. Girl, thank you for sharing that with us. That is fantastic and phenomenal. And I thank you so very much for your time and for sharing with us.
Thank you. I feel so good.
You're a very powerful story, girl. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.